Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name. And find a home. Never seen a weak find the strength. I promise you will change.
What's up, everybody? It's time after a brief hiatus once again for the Big C and Bigger T podcast. The Razorback fan podcast. It's two best friends from back from sixth grade, back from the 80s, folks. That
80s.
Love talking about sports, love talking hogs, love just talking. We just like to talk. And so I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Clint Clark. How you doing?
You know, I get asked all the time, never actually, but all the time.
Yeah.
About what was it like growing up as a young child in Greenbrier with Travis Johnson, middle school, junior high years. What was it like? I'm like, have you ever seen Stranger Things? Just like that.
Exactly.
A lot of creatures.
Yep.
Like we fought. I mean, God, was there ever a Friday night we didn't fight aliens?
No, I mean every Friday night, just
every Friday night,
killing aliens, playing a little D&D.
At the what was that arcade that we had? What it's like 1965?
Yeah.
1965.
That's it. By the pool.
Yeah, man. Did you ever hang out in 1965?
Not very much. I
think I hung out one time and I about got into a fight.
Did you?
Yeah. Me and Bud, because I think he was.
Well, I think that place, just like you went in there and like you just started thinking, okay, who am I going to fight?
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like something in the air.
Yeah.
Something they pumped in through the vents.
Kind
of like casinos pump in, oxygen or whatever. They pump in like heat pheromones.
Right. They're just aggression gets.
Yeah.
Just aggression.
Something like that.
Of toxic masculinity coming in through the vents.
Yeah.
Like,
well, speaking of masculinity.
Yeah.
Let me talk about the opposite of that, Clint.
Oh,
we didn't do a podcast last week.
Yeah, that's
because your boy was down and out for a little while. I was down and out. Okay. I've been having some issues with my feet and ankles. Still don't know what it is, and I'll tell you why I still don't know what it is as we go along with this story. But it's kind of, it acts sort of like gout. But it's not gout. Been tested for gout. It's not gout. But my ankles swell up, feet swell up some, and it feels like I'm walking around on a sprained ankle all the time. That's how it hurts. Okay. If the only thing that relieves it if I'm sitting up like in a recliner or in my bed. Okay. The only time it's got my feet propped up. The only time it doesn't really hurt. Anyway. Well, then I woke up 2 Thursdays ago and I couldn't use my left elbow. So therefore I couldn't get out of bed. Now you talk about taking away your masculinity.
Yeah.
Couldn't get out of bed, man, because my feet were hurting me. So I was already having to use both arms to get myself out of bed every day, every time I got up. And then I couldn't use my left elbow. My left elbow was swollen and red. Didn't know what was going on. So I go to the hospital and they didn't know what was wrong with my ankles, but they gave me some anti-inflammatories hoping that would help. And it did help. I went to a local hospital And I'm going to go ahead and call them out. It's the Fordyce Hospital. Okay. I was one of 5 patients there.
Well, the breast and Vitus that medical school is not going to Fordyce, Arkansas. You're
No. Now
you're
look,
not graduating from Duke School of Medicine and going to Fordyce. Let's just be honest.
the people were wonderful to me. Okay.
Yeah,
the
no.
nurses, I'm in no way, nothing against them whatsoever. However, Clint,
Yeah.
this is not a 4-star resort. The hospital that represents the home of Bear Bryant is not even a 2-star resort. Okay. We get there, they check me in, they see me in the emergency room. They want me to stay because they want to get some antibiotics because there's an infection in my elbow that they need to get that out first to get that done. And then they want to try some things on my feet. So the nurse comes in and says, our pharmacy's out of this medicine. Do you have somebody that can pick it up? Clint, I'm in a hospital.
Right.
I had to pick up my own daggone medicine.
Yeah.
I had to go get my own medicine from the pharmacy.
You figure they would have a shuttle.
You'd think they'd, the pharmacy would have, oh, it's the hospital. The place that buys medicine from us all the time. The place that gives out prescriptions all the time. We'll just run it over to you. Nope. Not in Fordyce, baby. Not in Fordyce. So
it's not like they got to fight traffic or anything either. I mean, what's the traffic like in Fordyce? It just
literally. It would have taken. Well, I had a guy that from my church that worked at a bank that he would be driving by the pharmacy on his way home. So I called him, and he was walking to his vehicle, and it was at my room within 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's how close the pharmacy was. Okay. And then later on, I tell one of it's like the LPN girl or whatever, there's the nurse and then there's the, little underling that checks.
Right. Yeah.
All your stuff.
Like the bedpan girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she comes in and I say, I think I'm going to want to try to get in the shower later and just rinse off. Are there towels around here? She goes, well, let me go look. She comes back, Clint, with a stack of washcloths, about 6 washcloths. She said, we don't have any towels. No towels.
Travis, listen, I'm one of your best friends in the whole world. I'm going to brag on you a bit because I told you I was going to bring it up. You're down over 100 pounds now.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome accomplishment. But now here's where I'm going to be your butthole best friend since 6th grade. You're still fat.
Yeah.
You've lost 100 pounds and you're still fat. I mean, I get it.
Oh,
I've lost 100 pounds and I'm still fat.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, we're both big guys. You're going to need a lot more towels than that if we're going to dry you off.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more. I mean, you're at least a 50 washcloth type guy to dry off.
Yeah.
So carry on with your story. I'm sorry.
Well, and here's the funny part, Clint. This may be a little TMI.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
okay.
There's no one's listening anyway.
So I took a shower.
Yeah.
And I came out, and of course they had one of those. I was wearing like some shorts. I had some shorts, and I had on one of the gowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had them get me a new gown, and then I was going to put on a fresh pair of shorts. So I come out, nothing but a washcloth. And guess who happens to walk in the door right as I come out? Like, I wasn't expecting anybody to be out there.
Probably like the young nurse.
That LPN girl that brought me the
Yeah.
washcloths. Yeah,
She got way more than she's all way more.
Yeah,
than
she
Yeah.
poor girl. She'll
No,
never be the same. So anyway,
we all have embarrassing. I'm not going to go over mine because I've tried to block it out of my head.
Yeah.
But it did
anyway, it was
and an intern.
The people
So,
were
I'm not real.
I saw 5 doctors in 4 days. 5 different doctors in 4 days. Hence the reason I didn't get answers. Okay. I went and saw my primary care doctor Monday and he did a bunch of blood tests. So they're trying to figure out what exactly was happening. But anyway, that's why we didn't have it. That's
Right.
my funny stories about Fordyce Hospital. Look, the people were wonderful. Nurses were nice. They were very, very good to me. Very, very good to me. They just don't have resources. I tried to get them to take me to Baptist, mainly because as a minister, I get half off at Baptist.
Yeah.
But they were
There
like,
work
well,
the system, Travis.
we got to have a good reason to take you up there. So how about 50% off? Anyway. Well, Clint, our Hogs.
Yeah.
While I was dealing with my issues, I still got to watch the games. Our Hogs, they struggled. But should we have expected the struggle? And was the struggle a lot less than what it could have been?
Here's the thing. You've played top-notch, high-level competition.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama may not be Alabama, but they're still Alabama. They're still a good. They're a top 10 team.
Yeah,
they're not a top 4 or 5 team. They're just not.
No.
Georgia's better. Texas is better. Oklahoma's better. There's just a lot of teams out there that I think are better than Alabama right now. But Alabama's still top 10, top 15 team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the way it is. Ole Miss also top 15, top 20 team. What hurts, and I said this in our Marco Polo, I think let's just talk what bothers everybody is I think everybody's satisfied with the defense. I mean, hard to complain anything that Travis Williams and his crew has done.
No.
They're susceptible. They've given up a few big plays, but for the most part, I think they've exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you trusted Sam Pittman with, there's one thing you say, we've got Sam Pittman, we're going to be fine. It's the offensive line.
Yeah.
I trusted him with it. You trusted him with it. The entire state trusted him with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Like, we got KJ back. There's a question on the left line, but we're going to be fine because we got Sam Pittman. That was to the man, whatever. That's what everyone felt like. That's what I felt like. I think that's what you felt like. If you asked David Basil, you had felt like, I mean, it's not the kids' fault that they're in this position. Then there's guys going out there to play meaningful snaps that just aren't ready. And they're probably our best options to go out there. Yeah. And there's all kinds of reasons why they struggled. And our last episode we had before Travis go boom, before Travis went down, was Steve Mullins. We had him on here. I'm always pretty good about reading between the lines. And I messaged you this. I'm like, I don't think he was a real big fan of Dan Enos.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he thinks he's calling plays. I think where Pittman's biggest mistake in the off season, I don't think it's the strength and conditioning coach. I don't think it's any of the main moves he made on defense. I don't think it's not even upgrading the offensive line coach. It's hiring. I think it's safe to say hiring Dan Enos at this point in juncture was a mistake. It's easy, but here's the reason why I'm going to say it's a mistake. And it's not his play calling. I'm not going to blame his play, but Dan brought in his offense. we've recruited for years. The Chad Morris system was a whole lot similar to
Browse.
similar to Browse. Yeah, it was. But you've recruited that type of player for that system. That's who you've had.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't broke. What we were doing was not broke. We were in the top 30s. KJ Jefferson could have been a legit Heisman candidate. It is what it is. It had, some breaks gone the other way it is what it is. But KJ's that type of player. You go and you completely overhaul it. Not just for KJ, for the offensive line. I mean, receivers, you're running routes. It's not that hard. Running backs, you're hitting holes. It's not that hard. I mean, it is what it is. The offensive line, the entire blocking scheme. There was the wife bringing me some coffee. Right there you go. Sent the text. So but it changed more for the offensive linemen and the quarterbacks than it did anybody. And that's the two that are struggling the most.
Well, and here's the thing, Clinton. Here's what I think I was just listening to Drive Time, and Quinn Grovey actually kind of hit on this. He said when he was playing, they switched offenses, and it took him 5 games to get it right, to figure it out. 5 games, Clint. Quinn Grovey.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the best quarterbacks to ever play for the Hogs. And they didn't switch. They didn't make a huge switch when they switched offenses with him, because they never switched him to be a pocket passer like they're trying to do with KJ right now. Okay. And run and I mean, the switch that we made from Brawls to Enos is a big change. Okay. It's a big change. And so here's my contention. My contention may be, maybe Enos isn't that bad. Okay. I may be wrong here. Okay. We'll see the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the proof's going to be in the pudding the rest of the season, right? Enos may not be that bad. Okay. What may be happening is these players still haven't adjusted to the offense, and they're adjusting now, and it's going to click. They've had to try to adjust under the toughest schedule to try to adjust with that we could have given them with these 4 road games.
Yeah,
against the 4 teams that they went against.
And I think still there's a lot of hangover from the BYU game still. I mean,
yeah,
but
that was
any of us really feeling bad about Ole Miss or Alabama, or even the LSU game. I think we're fine with those 3, but everyone's still salty from the A&M game and the BYU game. I mean, those were the 2 games that.
Well, and I'm going to use as evidence for what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
A tidbit we got from Chumley when we interviewed him on here. Chamley, sorry.
Been watching too much Pawn Stars.
Oh, yeah, Pawn Stars, sorry. Chamley. He said, remember we asked him about the 4th and 1 play.
Yeah.
And I was kind of saying, okay, here's what the coaches are thinking on that. Here's what they're thinking. Whether you agree with the play call or not, they're calling it for a reason that way. Well, Chamley said, well, really, that wasn't supposed to be a play call at all. It was supposed to be a freeze play, meaning they were just going to try to draw them off sides and then call a timeout before and then decide what they were going to do after that.
Yeah.
Okay. But he said there was a miscommunication. And I think that there's been a ton of miscommunications. If you hear the linemen talk, if you hear the running backs talk, if you hear the receivers talk, they all talk about, we got to get our communication better. We got to get our communication better. We got to get our communication better. I think because when Enos came in, Pittman told him, use your language you've always used. Don't worry about using Brawl's language, which is fine. That's a decision you make. But by making that decision, you're setting your people back because they're having to learn a whole nother language. They're having to learn what calls are. They're having to learn how to make those calls. And in Enos' system, they got to make more calls on their own. Under Bryles' system, they look over to the sideline and Bryles would make the calls for them. Or another offensive coach would make a call for them and tell them what to do by looking at the defense. KJ didn't have to read the defense the same under Bryles as he does under Enos. Yeah. Enos puts more trust in KJ to read the defense. And so it's a lot more it's a lot to take on. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. And that's and I think that answers the question. Why does the offense look so bad? Now, if it keeps going the rest of the season, then, hey, I'm going to jump on that wagon. Let's get someone else in here that fits these guys better. Fits whether KJ stays or goes.
Well,
whatever happens.
I do think this is KJ's last year in the Razorback uniform, regardless of its.
But here's the deal. Where's he go?
I think he'll try his hand at the NFL. I really do. But
I don't think he'll look at the stats he's putting up.
Well, it's hard to do it on your back. I think he'll go to a combine and prove himself. But
Saturday Down South just put him out as the 8th best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah, they're dumb. They're dumb. He's not the 8th best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
I'll give you Jaden Daniels, and that's gonna be the only one I'll give you. KJ's. Well, I do think his stats has regressed. It just, man, the poor kid this is reminding me of Tyler Wilson's senior season. It really is, sadly enough. It is reminded just that beating Tyler Wilson took his senior year. I'm hoping they figure it out. Now, let me ask you this, Travis. We're of course we had all off season. Realistically, if you had to do over again, you can't say Steve Spurrier. If you had to do over again, what realistic option is the Razorbacks offensive coordinator right now if you're Sam Pittman?
And I don't know.
See, I would figure, obviously, I think I would have told Bryles to hit the bricks. I mean, I don't blame Pittman for that. I don't.
No.
Come to me once, I'll give you more money. You come to me twice, hit the bricks,
Yeah.
No,
he did 3 times in one offseason.
Yeah, and I think
put him in limbo. Yeah.
So I think you try to get Dow Loggins back from South Carolina. I mean, I think that's,
I wonder if you make a call to Barry Lunny.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers, what their offense is doing. He's at Illinois.
He's at Illinois, but how much freedom's Burt really giving him? You probably running Burt's pro style offense. I don't know if he's letting him run something similar to what Morris ran.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. The thing is, Travis, if we had just been patient, Chad Morris would have had at least 48% of his offense in by now.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Well, but I do think, there's a lot of people on the message board like, how about this for the next head coach? Sam Pittman is not getting fired this year.
No, I don't. I think they'll have a good enough end of the season that he'll be.
Well, even let's just say you go 5-7, you lose to Florida and you lose to Missouri, and you beat Mississippi State, Auburn, and FIU. You go 5-7. It's a disappointing season, but I think we're too quick to forget where we were when Sam Pittman found it.
Yeah,
I don't think you can count. You can't count that first year.
Yeah,
that 3-7 year is not a real 3-7 year.
And you got to look at what he's done it against. That first year, Clint, that was that COVID year.
Right, yeah.
What 2 teams from the East did we get that year?
Oh, the top 2 teams.
Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, you played a 10-game.
They play an all SEC schedule, and they add to our schedule about what we already had. They add Georgia and Florida to it. Then you go with last season's schedule, which was terrible.
Chad Morris would have gone 0-12 on that schedule.
Yeah. And then this year's schedule. Now, this year's schedule wouldn't have been so bad if there would have been a couple of this last stretch of games would have been at home, but none of them at home, 4 in a row against the teams that we went against. I mean, there's someone in the SEC office that hates us, man.
Yeah. I'm not going to use that. I don't think that bothers the kids as much as we think, but I think, it'd been nice to send like the Auburn and LSU game swapped.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Cause like Trey Biddy said, he goes, the SEC always knew that wasn't a real home game.
Yeah.
They knew that wasn't a real home game. And they talked about how everyone hates it.
Yeah.
A&M hates it. Razorback fans hate it. I think I'm the only one that likes it.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like, it's cool to get to play in Dallas.
Yeah.
Stadium once a year. But I just think these people that Pittman's not going anywhere. He's going to be your head coach.
I agree.
They're going to, even if they go 4-8, even if they just win one of these SEC games, he's not going to get fired. Now, he's going to have to make some changes on his staff. I think obviously Cody Kennedy will be a sacrifice and Dan will be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's the price you pay for going 4-8.
Yeah. I think you keep Smith just because you need his recruiting.
Yeah.
That guy's such a good recruiter. I think you're right. I think those two should be the only two, honestly. Or at least that I'm off the top of my head.
Well, the tight end, I've been impressed with the tight ends as a whole.
Oh yeah,
he's done a terrific job. Luke Haas was a stud, and I think, and Ty Washington comes in, and everybody's like, "Where's Ty Washington been?" Laying behind Luke Haas. So it's been, the tight end room has been impressive.
Hey, let's talk about our boy Landon Jackson. How in the world does he get defensive player of the week? 3.5 sacks. How many tackles? 11 tackles?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The guy from Texas A&M had like 1.5 tackles for a loss. And seriously?
Well,
anyway, Landon Jackson was destroying that young tackle from Alabama.
And that guy had a bad day. But what he's done is made himself some money. Is what he's done.
Yeah.
You remember when we had him on the podcast last year? What was he, a redshirt freshman last year? Redshirt sophomore?
I think his LSU year was a red shirt.
Yeah, well, I think what he said was, I think technically he wasn't a redshirt, so I think he's a true junior this year. And he had said, look, Pittman said, look, we need it. We can go back and revisit. I don't think it's going to be necessary.
Yeah.
I think this is, what I said? This is KJ Jefferson's last year on the Hill. This is probably Landon Jackson's last year on the Hill, and he definitely ain't into the transfer portal.
Well,
I think he's made him some money.
I personally don't think KJ will get drafted. I think Landon is guaranteed a draft pick.
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty high draft pick.
Well, but it's like you said, too, with KJ. KJ, he's got 5 games left to prove it.
Yeah.
5 games left to prove it. Competition you can prove it against.
If he doesn't prove it, he's going to another team and taking a big NIL bump.
Yeah.
I think he's going to chase the NIL money. Because
Well,
here's the deal. Clint. Right now, he's making over $1 million. Most experts will tell you if you're starting SEC quarterback, you're making over $1 million right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's probably making quite a bit more than that because there's some rumors out there that in the offseason that Auburn and Ole Miss came up to him and made him some pretty big offers. And he went to Arkansas and said, hey, this is what we're offering me. What can y'all do? Okay. Hence the expensive gold chain he's wearing. Hence the new Corvette. Okay.
Well, I ain't hating on him. If people willing to give it to you, take it.
Oh, heck yeah, man. There ain't nothing wrong.
You know what?
Now,
I'm 21, 22 years old. Somebody offers me that kind of money. You don't think I'm taking it?
Now, here's the other thing, though. if I'm a coach and he's getting all that, right?
Yeah.
And the guys you got up there blocking for him are getting a gift certificate to Wright's Barbecue.
They got them Lower Hendricks commercials.
Okay, they may get a couple $100 for that.
Well, yeah. They get that bigger T rub too.
That's right. At least a couple of them. Think about it, man. It's a big difference. That was some of the problem last year was, that was reported, kind of one of the little dirty secrets going around was the strength and conditioning coach was talking about all the NIL money that some of the players were making and rubbing it in some of the others' faces. And it was causing problems. It's causing jealousy.
Here's the thing. And this is just honest to goodness truth, saying the quiet part out loud. Coach shouldn't be talking like that. Shouldn't be stirring drama, especially amongst a coach.
Yeah.
But that exact same thing is going on in every college campus.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You think the offensive linemen at USC are getting paid the same thing Caleb Williams is getting paid?
Nope. Yeah.
You think
you're right.
You think the starting middle linebacker or safety at LSU is getting paid what Jada Daniels is getting paid? It's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And that was always the problem with NIL. Like, look, and these anyway, I'm gonna come off like an angry old man if I keep going.
Yeah.
Which
is why there needs to be some regulation for it.
There definitely needs to be. But so we got a winnable game coming up, Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. Mississippi State's they're 3-3. They've been struggling. Not sure if Will Rogers is going to play. They said he'd be questionable at best. You got to assume Will Rogers is going to want to try to play if he can. And he's kind of like KJ Jefferson to me. Like he's meant too much to Mississippi State for his last year to be like this.
Yeah,
it's painful to watch. And Zach, is it Arnett? Is that the head coach's name?
That's something like that.
I
can't remember.
Yeah, I know his first name's Zach. He changed that offense a lot.
Yeah.
And it was one of them. It's still one of them things where I'm like, I don't get it. It wasn't broke. That's the horses.
Especially you got Will Rogers. Why?
Yeah. Why?
Why not ride that pony? Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you're going to change it next year, finish this year with it.
Put a GA at offensive coordinator, somebody that can run the.
They can call the air raid.
Air raid. Yeah.
But I mean, see if you get Cliff Kingsbury out of Maui or wherever you went to.
That's right.
Like, no, I'm going to Cabo. I just got fired.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, that's the way to do it, my man. That's the way to do it. But yeah, this is probably the easiest SEC game. Well, I don't know. Auburn, them and Auburn, I think are the two lower best chances to win.
Yeah.
They're not easy games. They're still SEC teams that can.
This will be. Look, if we don't win this one, I don't like our chances with Auburn.
No.
And I definitely don't like them with Missouri.
No, and Missouri's looking good.
Yeah.
Matt Mitchell, he I think he covers our feelings about Missouri better than anybody. Like,
oh yeah,
why are you here? Why are you here?
Yeah.
Everybody feels that way about Missouri, and but that gummit, we can't talk. Like, I think we talked about after the Missouri game, we have that superiority complex over Missouri, and they beat us more than we beat them.
Yep.
But we're still better than you, Missouri.
That's right.
Still better than you.
That's right.
But so the AP poll for basketball came out.
Yeah, man. How about them Hogs?
Number 14. That would be saying that that they're picking you to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
In my opinion. How you feel? You think that's too high, too low? Just about
right? That's
right?
a good spot. I think that's just about right. I mean, Musselman's brought in some talent. Everybody knows it's some talent. People know who these players are. It's going to be a different team. He's going to have to get them to jail. That's, I think nationwide, they don't know what we have in Brazil yet.
No.
I think there's a lot of people that know who he is, but I think if he stays healthy, he's gonna be a rock star. I think he's gonna be a player that they're gonna do lots of stories about. Okay, is what I think. And so I like what they have there. You know, from all reports, shooting is much better.
Yeah, hearing a lot of good things about Pinion, about how we just did that knee still wasn't 100% last year.
And that other kid, Davenport, supposed to be a great shooter.
Yeah.
They had them on opposite teams, and I think they were crushing it in the red white game.
Yeah.
Um,
And 2 true point guards. We haven't
Yeah.
had a true point guard since what? Probably Jimmy Witt.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you've got a guy. Well, not that I didn't mean to disrespect Anthony Black like that. Obviously, Anthony Black was a true point guard.
yeah.
But yeah, we got 2 true point guards. But you know, if Anthony Black went
But
out, who was running point?
you almost played Anthony Black though like a point forward
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
because he's built like a point forward.
Yeah, but yeah, man, they Ellis and Battles has not been playing. I think he's got gimped up a little bit, but
Yeah.
They say Jalen Graham has totally changed his attitude as far as it comes to practice and defense. That he's kind of working harder on defense and stuff. So, I mean, he was already a pretty good offensive guy, and so if he goes out there and plays hard on defense, then Musselman's going to let him play some, and he'll be special to watch. This could be a dangerous team, man. And what I like about them too is it's a lot of older guys,
Right.
that the guys that could, they've been there, done that a little bit. They played for Louisville, for Houston, for the other team, for some good teams,
Yeah.
teams that played good teams, played at a high level. And so, man, it could be fun to watch. What are you thinking?
No, I think 14's about right. And I think that shows the respect that people have in Eric Musselman.
Yeah.
That they rank him, because I mean it's a bunch of good ingredients.
Yeah.
It's like looking at an ingredient list and go, oh yeah, I'll like this dish without knowing you're gonna like this dish.
Mm.
Some good ingredients, but you don't quite know how it's gonna all taste together yet. Is that a good analogy?
Yeah.
I feel like I was reaching a little bit, but
no, it's good. It's good.
There you go. But I think on paper, yeah, it looks good. But like Calipari had a team once. He's like, this is the most frustrating experience of my life.
Yeah.
I got all this talent, and I'm banging my head against the wall.
Yeah.
But we had to see if we can get maybe Bart Reed on next week or something. Next couple of weeks, preview the basketball team.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can always get him back, and
we'll call Bart. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited about the season, and man, football season's a little down, but you got basketball. Should be pretty good, and then our baseball team's going to be all right.
Hearing some good things coming out of fall ball there too.
The arms that you got on that team,
alone,
just wow.
Yeah.
You got Tiger coming back. Of course, you lost some pieces that you hate to lose.
Yeah.
Hagen Smith will be back, right? So, so man, I'm excited for baseball.
It's good to be a Hog.
Yeah, it is good. So it's not that bad. Football ain't going the way you want it. Y'all quit posting like, who are you going to get to replace Pittman? Pittman ain't going nowhere this year.
That's right.
Just don't forget where it was when he found it.
Yeah.
We're losing by 3 at Alabama and LSU, losing by 7 to Ole Miss, and you just lost. You got your butt kicked at A&M. Everybody knows that was worse than a 12-point beatdown. We all know it.
Yeah.
That felt like a 4-touchdown loss. Just the reality of it.
If I would have told you at the beginning of the year that you're going to lose to Alabama by 3, Now, of course, you always want to win, but you would have said, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a good game. And especially, and I guess the frustrating part of it is, Clint, is you see where they left a lot out there, especially on offense, right? That's the frustrating part, is you see where they could have won the game. You see the interceptions, you see the mistakes, you see, just not being able to run the ball, not, all the different things. So look, you heard it here first. I think this team's going to turn a corner. I think the offense is finally going to click, and we're going to see some great numbers, because you mix them getting the offense down with the defense playing like it is, with favorable schedule the rest of the way. I think this team has a chance to finish out really strong. I could be wrong. Maybe wrong. I've been wrong a lot of other times.
You can sit here like me last year when I said we're going to go 12-0.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, no, I don't.
I have a feeling that we're going to progressively see them by the Missouri game. By the Missouri game, we may not be calling for any coaches to be fired. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Now, Travis, we're over the halfway point. Who's your MVP so far this year? You had to pick an MVP on the team. I don't even have to think about it. I think you're probably leaning towards Landon, weren't you?
Probably so. Yeah.
It's got to be Cam freaking Little to me.
Yeah.
That kid's a weapon.
Yeah.
He is when you can get to the 40 and think, all right, we're going to score. Get to the 40, that's a 57-yarder field goal, and he's making them look routine.
Well, and you bring him up, but you got to also, of course, rest in peace, Reed Bauer.
Yeah.
But old Max, our Australian guy,
yeah,
he's crushing it too, man.
No,
that's a weapon too. He's flipping the field on us.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Around. And that's just one of them kids that, that was probably struggling a little bit. He had his struggles, and he had to get through it, and he's getting used to the game now.
Yep. Well, Clint, let's wrap it up, man.
All right, let's wrap it.
It's been another fun one.
It has been, and man, let's stay out of the hospital and let's do it.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. Try to stay away from especially small hospitals.
Yeah, no, I felt bad because me and Mullins were on the podcast like a good 15 minutes before you got on there. And Mullins was like, well, call him, see what he's doing. And then it turned out you were trying to get across your house.
Yeah, man, I could barely walk.
Yeah, so
it was I've been using this bad boy a lot.
Yeah.
It kind of helped me stay sturdy and everything. I don't feel like an old man. I am an old man.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully a doctor will figure out what's going on and I can get some relief.
There you go.
Anyway, folks, like and share, comment, argue with us. What do you think? We right? We wrong? We stupid? We talked a lot of stuff that's kind of rumors out there this time, right? We talked a lot about, stuff that kind of underbelly stuff here. What do you think about that? You think we're wrong on that? Did KJ really get offers from those other schools? Is he really making $1 million? That kind of stuff. What do you think on that? Let us know. Comment on it on our social medias. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Let us know. Clint, peace out, homeboy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I swear when I work, my hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I swear when I work, my hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard, I can barely breathe. Hard to sing a joyful song. The words got me on my knees.